Greetings, believers, and welcome to the second episode of the new podcast, Reopening the X-Files. I'm Nate, the Ultimate Movie Geek, and once again, I'm joined by Marina, also known as Mrs. Movie Geek, but I shall call you Powell from now on, because that's what I call you anyway.
Okay.
Alright, Powell. Alright. So we're back for the X-Files, the second episode of the first series called Deep Throat, where I'll just
put in there. Sorry, guys, it's not that deep throat. You know, it's a really. Is it 70s or 80s?
70s,
I don't know what
I
it
think.
is, but it's proper strange.
Well, yeah.
Movie.
Oh God, I was talking about it.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. You all know what we're on about. Some of you will, some of you won't. Maybe Google it, maybe don't. Depends on.
Well, funnily enough, when I googled Deep Throat, the first thing that came up was the 70s porn movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just leave that there.
Anyway, so fresh off the back of the pilot, the pair investigate a possible conspiracy in the US Air Force, and Mulder meets a mysterious informant who wants him to stay away from the case. Undeterred, Mulder continues and comes closer to the truth about extraterrestrial life than ever before, only to have his progress taken away from him again. There you go. That's pretty much what we're going to do about the episode. We're not going to go too much detail into it, but we're just going to touch on some things. We've again got it playing in the background. So this episode, this sets up the whole conspiracy.
Yeah.
You had the little snippet of the smoking man in the pilot in one scene where he's just smoking in the background.
Yeah.
And this brings it all up. This is the first.
Yeah, this is the first. It's like full acknowledgement that there are people working within the government who are at top secret level, and they almost seem answerable to nobody. It's very all covert. I find it a bit creepy the way Deep Throat rocks up. Mulder's just been, he's in the gentleman's toilet, so he's washing his face, and all of a sudden he looks up and this old guy's just stood behind
locking the door.
Yeah, lock the door.
But funnily enough,
bit of a creep.
They redo that in the 1998 film with Martin Landau as well.
Yeah. But Deep Throat, I remember, and it goes on throughout the series, he is almost a father figure to Mox.
To Mox Fulder.
Mox Fulder. That's his secret name.
Well, actually, his pseudonym is MF Luder.
Geek. No. But yeah, he's kind of he's saying, he's followed his career, he rates him, he likes him, he thinks he's good at what he's doing, and his work is extremely important.
Yeah.
You don't know whether to trust him or not. And that really is, for a lot of people, there's only maybe 2 or 3 people, other than the main characters, that throughout the X-Files you do trust and think, yeah, no, they're sound then.
Yeah.
They're on their side. Because a lot of the time there's people brought in and you kind of think they are and they're really not.
Yes.
And you don't really know from the get-go whether Deep Throat is got the X-Files and Mulder and Scully's best interest at heart.
Well, there's a few times, isn't there, it crops up in the first series especially. And you're right, it's like sometimes he's lying to them, sometimes he's sending them on goose chases.
Yeah, he's sending them and it doesn't make sense, some of it. I think if you overanalyze it now, you're a bit like, you get frustrated with it, and I used to get frustrated.
We've got frustrated with it a couple of times already, and we're only on season 3.
Yeah, it's like, well, what have they done that for?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's to keep you on.
To keep you coming back and
can't just
wanting
wrap
more.
Everything up nicely.
No.
It being half a series. But he's a bit of because you don't see really the family of either of them till later on in the series, and he almost is that person looking out for Fox. And I think that unfolds the more you get in the series, and you understand the dynamics of his family. particularly his relationship with his father, I think is quite complicated.
Yes.
For lots of reasons.
Well, yeah,
There's the main
yeah.
reason regarding his sister, which we'll get onto when we get onto that. Obviously,
Yeah.
his sister was allegedly abducted when they were children, and I think Fox blames himself because his family, he feels his father blamed
Yes.
him. Obviously, there's a big can of worms and stuff that we'll
Yeah,
get
later
onto
on,
when those episodes come up. And I do think he probably, I think he's always a bit of an outsider, isn't he? He's
Yes.
always, he's spooky Fox. And I think he likes that somebody has noticed his work
Yeah.
and somebody is trying to help him.
Yeah, because from Fox's point of view, he's pushed down into the basement.
Yeah.
Where the X-Files
he's
are
always
kept.
not wanted.
Yeah.
I think, and I think he doesn't always outright say he does about the X-Files, not really about himself.
But well, like you said, it's like he said in the first episode to Scully, who did you piss off to?
Yeah, who did you piss off to get you come down here? Yeah. And I think it helped him on his journey, and he's got this quest for the truth, hasn't he?
Oh.
And it helps him that he's got somebody he can confide in and somebody he thinks he can go to.
Yeah.
You know, other than Scully, because obviously Scully, he doesn't know whether to trust Scully straight away or not. You know, and that goes on for a little bit, doesn't it? He does throw a couple of things.
Well, she is there to debunk everything that he's doing.
Yeah, and to be fair, some of the shit he comes up with is crazy.
But some of the shit that he comes up with is spot on. And it's like, hang on, you've seen 2 seconds of something that's going on, and you've hit the nail on the head.
Like, Scully, turn around! Scully,
look at the bloody ship in the sky!
Just turn the other way. Stop being knocked out up your ass.
Oh, you're awake. Oh no, you're knocked out again. Come on. Yeah. It's the X-Files. It's entertaining, but it's also extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
But this episode, it's you've got the Air Force, and it's all about lights in the sky.
Yeah, it's like pilots, isn't it, on an Air Force base? So again, Scully can relate to it because she was brought up in that background. Her dad was
Navy man.
Yeah, he was, but I'm in the forces, not obviously the Air Force. But you know, they all have these little towns almost, don't they, where the families live together. Barracks, so she can kind of relate to that, and she probably sees the dynamic of the family from how her family was. But the wife is like, you know, with this particular episode, you know, he's not my husband. I don't know who that is. It's not my husband, and they almost think the wives are crazy, don't they? These people.
So he's come across this this case, which is about a pilot for the Air Force who something's gone wrong and he's been taken away from his family, and he's had sort of like a psychotic break, and they don't know why. But it turns out the reason why later on, and obviously spoilers for this, you know, for this 30-year-old TV series.
TV show.
It's because they're flying UFOs or UFO technology aircraft.
Re-engineered,
yeah, and there's a lot of, again, like with the pilot, there's a lot of basis in not actual, but conspiracies of like say Area 51 and lights in the sky. Where's that mountain range that has the lights in the sky?
West Virginia. West Virginia.
Don't get copyright claim for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's like
East Virginia.
Fast. East Virginia, there you go. Perfect. Like, so the lights in the sky are moving extremely fast that no human aircraft could maneuver that way. So it's obviously UFOs, according to Mulder. But you've got, there's a lot of hints in this episode of what is going on with, you've got a character who, funnily enough, has just come on our screen now, who he pretends to be a reporter, but he's actually part of the Air Force base, and he's trying to derail their investigation. So yeah. So when investigating the Air Force base, Mulder meets a couple of stoners, one played by Seth Green.
Oh yeah, in the cafe.
Yeah, in the cafe. He feeds them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they show him where the lights are. And then later on in the episode, he goes into the Air Force base after he's been chucked out of the town. And second episode in, we see a UFO. We actually see a UFO hovering above him and a light being, and it's like that. It's quite a known image because I think it was used a lot where he's underneath it, he's shielding his eyes, and the spaceship is above him. Yeah.
But is it really a UFO? Because it's an engineered on Earth, isn't it?
Well, it's UFO technology, isn't
Flown by these pilots who are losing the shit because
they can't do the
maneuvers, memories and everything. So yeah, I mean it's there from the beginning, isn't it? Yeah. You've got to believe. You want to. You're on. I don't know anyone who isn't on Fox Mulder's side.
There was also almost throughout the series you were like, are there aliens? Is it true? Are they covering it up? But then you rewatched it. Now this episode for me, I forgot about.
Yeah.
But in this episode, UFOs they do exist.
So they've got the technology from somewhere, even if it was made by us.
So it is true what Mulder's doing. So we are led to believe that everything is true from what we see.
I love the Monster of the Week stuff.
Yeah, and the Monster of the Week comes in later on, doesn't it?
That's the crazy stuff that you see not so much here, but in America they have the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
And it was funny, we watched an episode tonight, a bit further on, and it's a guy who's suggested he plants stuff. Yeah. He talks to people and he can make them do whatever they want. And he's in a supermarket, and there's it's not National Enquirer.
It is, yeah.
It's like a mock-up of a National Enquirer, like News Thump or whatever. And it's got the worm thing from the.
It lives in the toilets.
It's the first series, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in the series. Yeah.
It's like the worst. It was a horrible thing, wasn't it? It spike people and then implant. They lived in the sewers, and it's got a picture of that on, and the guy shakes his head and laughs at it, and it's like, but
we've seen that.
That's the stuff that probably is true. That's so out there. That's the stuff that's probably true, and the more believable stuff is, I do like the way it pokes its fun at itself.
Yeah.
Like using stoners like Seth Green and that. A lot of it is quite light-hearted.
Yeah, but
the lights in the sky and the noise, and then it'll turn out it's not.
It's not.
You think it is. It's something really normal.
But there's a lot of that, and you've got to think that the stoners who are seeing these light shows above the Air Force Base, these are the people who are the ones who are watching it and
because they're out there at that time of night, up to no good and all the rest of it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Having a quick shove somewhere. Now better to do.
Yeah.
And you're right. They're the sort of people who are out and about that, most people are normally in, aren't they? Watching the X-Files.
Yeah, watching the X-Files, yeah. Aye. It's a good episode, and like we say, it brings in the informant, Deep Throat, who then gives them clues throughout the series. So
leads them on a bit of a merry dance, but also does give them, viable information.
But in this episode, he warns him to stay away.
Yeah, repeatedly.
Why does he warn him to stay away?
Because he said that you don't want to get into it; it's too dangerous.
Yeah, and at the end, Mulder, even though he sees the aircraft, it turns out he gets his memory wiped, so he can't remember it.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty much a series until he sees another UFO.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would I don't know? Should we want to rate an episode? No.
Nah, I don't think you can rate them.
Is it memorable though? Because like I said, I forgot about this one.
It's I'd say some of the early series for me are the better series.
Yeah.
And I think I said yesterday I don't like the government, the underlying dark conspiracy, secret government, and it confused the hell out of me. I have to be honest, it confused me, and I was always a bit like, so what's going on, Susie now, and what are they doing? And you never really knew who, like I said before, who to trust.
And there's double speak, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was a bit like, I get that, but I think that certainly in the third, fourth series took over too much. And I still watched it, but it used to annoy me, and I used to wait for the light relief almost of the.
I think it was the fifth. It was around the film, wasn't it? So it was like the fourth or fifth series where it got heavy in the conspiracy. It was when Scully got cancer, and that series, I thought that dragged.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we will get to that soon. Shall we go into some fanboy facts?
Go on, give us some of your fanboy facts.
I love the fact that it's fanboy facts. So, the name Deep Throat is named after the real Deep Throat, Mark Felt, who was an FBI associate director who leaked information to the Washington Post that implicated President Nixon's administration in the Watergate scandal. Oh. So that's where that's from. Obviously, it's not our history, but the knock-on effect of the Watergate scandal is that any scandal that comes out now has gate in it. That annoys me.
Why?
Because it does. It's annoying. You don't have to put. I know it's a link, but it's just silly.
What was the hotel called?
Watergate.
So yeah, they've just always used the.
Yeah, I know, but gate in every single scandal, especially with the BBC, they do it all the time. But that's just a pet peeve of mine. Right, we said that Scully looked completely different, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right? The reason why Deep Throat was filmed more than a year after the pilot. So there's a massive set. It was over a year before they filmed the second one. So that's probably the time they wanted to get rid of Gillian Anderson and get someone else in. So obviously she's a little bit more dolled up in this one than she was in the pilot. Yeah. That didn't fit in that boot.
No. Seth Green's just got a moped out of a little like Cadillac or whatever. Yeah, there's no way that.
There's no way it fit in unless it was sticking
Struggle
out.
with a child's pram in our bloody car.
The first episode. This was the first episode to use the X-Files theme. The one that's yeah. I'm not doing any more because it's also the first episode to use the tagline.
I made this.
No. Oh. The tagline.
Oh, the truth is out there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Funnily enough, watching it on Amazon Prime, we don't see
or hear the next episode.
I'm pretty sure, isn't that one of the kids? Isn't it like Chris Carter's kid?
Chris Carter's son, yeah.
I made this. Yeah. You always wait to the end.
You waited for it. I used to say it. Just because I'm a sad guy.
Yeah, you are. I like you though. You're all right.
I was lucky you married to me. Jeez.
Here's a fanboy fact for you. As Scully's looking through the microfiche, if you look closely, the reporter's name is C. Carter.
Didn't notice.
Yeah. And that's all the fanboy facts I could find.
On this episode.
On this episode, yeah.
A bit poor on this episode. I think Mulder looks like he's been on holiday. He's got a bit of a healthy
Got a bit of a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is where they start a bit of the sexual chemistry as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, at the first bit where Scully's at a bar and Mulder comes in and he sticks his head right into her personal space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bit creepy, really, because if I worked with somebody and did that, I'd be thinking, yeah, what you want, sunshine? Go and shove your head somewhere else.
I love that they bring in the fact that Mulder has, like, a porn addiction.
Yeah, they do that quite a lot, don't they? Yeah.
Whatever tape you found in that VCR wasn't mine. And then she replies, well, I put it in the drawer with all the other tapes that aren't yours.
Yeah, or if she finds stuff, it's like, it's not your usual viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got quite a nice little banter, haven't they, really?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think that does it for Deep Throat.
Yeah, it's just an introduction of a sort of sideline character that's a bit predominant.
Yeah, sideline character.
Doesn't actually feel like he was in loads of
I
episodes.
don't think he was, no, but he, like you said, I think his interaction with Mulder and how he progresses everything in the first series. And I suppose how the end of the series happens. And
well, he feeds him a lot of files, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like when you think, well, how's Mulder come up with this? It's because Deep Throat has left the file for him. Yeah. You know, you don't think you always see that, but that's what it is. No,
I think it's good, but it also sets up the whole conspiracy theory, the Air Force in control of everything, or the government in control of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, not one of the best.
Not one of the best, but yeah. Well, funnily enough, I suppose this is a fanboy fact, but Chris Carter said, looking back, he felt that they were the worst effects that they'd ever done on the X-Files. Yeah,
they were a bit rubbish, to be fair, but you know, it was. Like,
it was the second episode.
It was 27 years ago, whatever it is.
I still think it looks good.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
Nuts. All right. Well, thanks for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at Movie Ultimate. Do you want to do yours? No. Okay then. Follow us on YouTube at Ultimate Movie Geek, and we will see you tomorrow.
I made this. I made this.